Hello. Hi, Stevie. How are you? Hi, Beth. How are you? This looks lopsided. Let me see. Is that better? Does it look lopsided? To me, it does. All right. So, I know, sorry, it's like an earthquake. Everything is moving. How are you? Let me make sure I'm clean. I have a new computer, but I haven't used it yet. So anything you'd like to ask or say, ladies? No, I'm free to roam. All right. Always trying to think of something new to do, some area to focus on in particular. And today I'm going to use a chair and the wall. And I guess for me here, because I have this space with a chair and the wall, it makes it really easy. I'm not sure if when you're practicing, if you have access to a wall or a chair, but it can be actually a really nice way to minimize the balance aspect. And although we want to work on balance, that is important. Sometimes some of the postures that are harder when it comes to balance will have an effect on how deep you can go in your joints and create that strong stimulation for muscle and bone strength. So there's many components we're working on in the practice. And so it just depends on what's your focus. Is it on strength? Is it on balance? Is it on flexibility? All of those are going to get worked all the time, but sometimes it's good to specifically target one thing or the other. So let me go back there and get us ready to practice, and we'll see what happens. All right. Hi, Nicole. How are you? Hope you're feeling okay from yesterday, Nicole. So, all right. I feel like I look lopsided, but maybe not. All right. So for today's practice, having a chair, having a wall, having your props, maybe whatever it is you need. And then also if you don't have any of those, it's okay as well. The thing with these props is it really can help when balance becomes an issue, because if balance becomes an issue when you're practicing, then you might be less likely to go deeper in the posture. And when we go deeper, especially when we go more into flexion or move our limbs farther away from our body, whether that's the legs when we're on the ground or our arms when we're up above, when we're standing, the farther away you go from center, the more challenge you put into your body, the more strength you'll develop in your body, your bones and your muscles. Yet it also will affect your balance. So having your props can help you go into a strengthening place. And so today I'm going to use the chair for some of our work that we're going to do, and focusing a little bit more on strength today versus strength, working on balance. And not that we're not doing that. So I don't want it to be that you think it's either one thing or the other. It's just we can go deeper when we feel more secure, and we can create more strength when we're in that deeper aspect of the postures. So to begin bringing that mind-body connection to the present moment, I've got an egg block that I'm going to use today behind my spine. And actually, that's not true, because I have the chair. I want to begin with my legs of the chair. I want my hips to relax. I'll use this to do a little chest opening. And if you don't have an egg block, have a rectangle block and a blanket, and you'll be able to get the same effect that I'm going to get. And then of course the strap as well, putting your props off to the side so we can come down onto the ground, bring ourselves to the present moment with our breath. Take everything off to the side. Unless you have a different position that you'd like to be in today, then do something that is good for you. So if you do use a chair to put your legs on the chair, it's the whole entire lower legs that go on the chair. So making sure that the back of the knees are all the way at the back of the chair. letting your legs rest on the chair. And if you don't want to do a chair, that's fine as well. The thing about the chair is it helps to settle the low back, settle the pelvis, settle the spine, settle the hips. And quite often, those are areas where a lot of tension develops throughout the day in your body. So bringing yourself to this moment, to right now, to letting everything settle in your body, in your mind. Take your time coming into a position that is appropriate for you. Something that feels comfortable, something that feels like this is right. Like Goldilocks, when Goldilocks settled into the exact place she needed to be, the just right location. So find that for yourself. When you get here, arrange your posture. So only have the blanket behind your head. Pull it up and back away from you. So just the center of your head is supported. Your neck is free with no props. Then press your arms into the ground to lift your torso up, slide your shoulder blades towards the spine, and then lay your body flat. Let's take the hands on the belly today. So deep diaphragmatic breathing is the goal. The more we practice in the class, the more access or the easier access you'll have to breath when you need it. So when life gets crazy or you find yourself in a stressful situation, using your breath to calm your nervous system, so your nervous system will shift into a place of healing, repairing, restoring. Lift your head up, lengthen the back of your neck. Let the weight of your head go. Notice if there is any tension, any holding patterns in your jaw or your neck. And feel that connection of the back of the head to the ground as you let go. Bringing your awareness to your throat, soften this area. If you feel any restriction in the throat, notice how expansion will make your neck feel. So think about lengthening to the sides, lengthening to the front, lengthening to the back, really big, expansive neck area. And then bring your awareness to the shoulders, the shoulder girdle, larger bones, heavier bones. Let your shoulders gently settle towards the ground, the shoulder blades, and then feel the shoulders themselves moving towards the ground. Letting your arms relax, the upper arm bones, relax. Noticing what you notice. And then let's work on filling our lungs in all the spaces. There's 3 sections to the lungs, the lower, the middle, and the upper. So I'll guide you through a progressive breath from belly, lower ribs, chest. That's how we inhale, bringing the awareness to the lower ribs. We also exhale the same way, belly, lower ribs, chest. The diaphragm is the primary breathing muscle below the ribs. That's the muscle that actually is responsible for breath. That's the primary breathing muscle. So bringing your awareness to your diaphragm, it draws downward to bring breath to the lower ribs, the belly, and the chest, or the belly, lower ribs, and chest. And then we exhale from the belly, the lower ribs, and the chest. So the hands are on the belly so you can feel the movement in the belly. Mouth is closed. Take any tension you need out of your jaw. Wiggle your jaw side to side.
And let's prepare. Take an exhale. Then inhale to the belly, the lower ribs, chest. Exhale, belly, lower ribs, chest. Inhale, belly, lower ribs, chest. Exhale, belly, lower ribs, chest. Inhale, belly, lower ribs, chest. Exhale, belly, lower ribs, chest. Inhale, belly, lower ribs, chest. Exhale, belly, lower ribs, chest. Inhale, belly, lower ribs, chest. Exhale, belly, lower ribs, chest. Slowing down the breath. Inhale, belly, lower ribs, chest. Exhale, belly, lower ribs, chest. Inhale, belly, lower ribs, chest. Exhale, belly, lower ribs, chest. Inhale, belly, lower ribs, chest. Exhale, belly, lower ribs, chest. Continue breathing on your own to those three locations, the belly, the lower ribs, and the chest. Continue with the breath, belly, lower ribs, chest. Slow down. Repeat those words. Let your mind go to those locations. Stay here. Stay with your breath. And then wherever you are, finish the breath you're on. Take 3 more long, slow breaths, staying with the belly, the ribs, and the chest. Letting go of your breath at the end of the breath. Give the breath back to your body to breathe itself. Bringing movement to your fingers, to your toes, drawing your knees into your chest, rocking side to side, starting to compress your body, relaxing the low back, and then come on to your side. From here, pushing yourself up and away from the ground. So we're going to begin by warming up the upper body, warming up the chest. So we're going to take the chair off to the side, if you had a chair underneath your legs. And then gather your props. You're going to need either one block or two blocks. It could be a round block, could be two rectangles if you have that. Or you could just use your blanket. So the blanket could go behind your heart. We're going to do something where we do a supported spinal extension. So you could put the blanket behind your heart, or you could use two blocks. If you have two rectangles, you could take two rectangle blocks. One would go horizontal behind the shoulder blades, and the other one goes by the head. Now, when I'm live in classes teaching, I notice that this placement of this block is usually quite often incorrect. So this matters where you put this. You're putting it on this part of your body where your heart is. So the block will be right here, not higher. So down here, and if you're using an egg, if you have an egg block, it goes right here. So you have this much space above, the top spine is free. So get whatever props you'd like to get. When we're down, we're going to do hand movements like this, like we're doing jumping jacks. So before we go down, I want you to get this movement here. When you come down on the ground, this here, so if you look at from the side, the arms are hovering right along the side of your body, going up to touch above your head. So that's the hand position we're going to be in, moving our hands above our head and down. We're going to do that when we're on the block, warming up and opening up the spine and the upper back muscles, shoulder muscles, chest muscles. So come down onto your prop, whatever that is for you, whatever you need. Put the block behind your head wherever you need it. There's 3 different levels here. And then keep your knees bent. This is a pretty strong stretch. You can see where my block is here underneath the heart. And then the arms go to the side. You exhale when the elbows come down to your waist. You inhale when the arms go up and overhead. You exhale, elbows down to the waist, and then inhale up overhead. You could close your eyes here and feel all of this movement. You have gravity here pulling and stretching the muscles of the shoulders. So be careful if you have shoulder issues. This could be pretty intense. So if you are nursing an injury or have an old injury in the shoulders, going at the pace that's appropriate for you. Not poking the monster of pain in any areas that you have issues. So you could stay with the movement, or if you prefer to come into a statically held position, you could do that, putting your body into a position that you feel the maximum stretch. So either continue to move with breath, exhaling down, inhaling up, or come into a held position, into a deep place where you feel a lot of stretching happening in your body. Using breath here, you inhale to stretch your body, you exhale to relax. And then take it a couple of more breaths here, letting the props help to deeply stretch. Staying with the hold or being in a place of movement, you decide. And then take one more breath. So coming off the props, come onto your side. Take a couple of breaths on the side. And then take your hand on the ground and push yourself to bring yourself all the way up and out. So move your props, block of the strap off the side. Get your blanket, bring your blanket onto your knees. Coming onto all fours, deeply setting your hips and your shoulders. Push yourself side to side here. Side to side. Your whole entire body moves side to side. And then bring yourself back and front. Keep your head lifted. So the head is forward, back and forward. Keep your arms straight, moving in your joints. Bring yourself to neutral. Take your knees wide, flatten your toes. Bring your hands forward. And then bring your entire body forward. Look up in front of you, stretching the front of your body. Inhale. As you exhale, bending your hip, pushing your body weight back. Arms are straight here to keep your spine safe. If you're able to put your forehead to the ground, put your forehead to the ground. That's the exhalation. Inhale through straight arms to come forward. Go slow, stretching the front of the body, stretching the back of the body. This is a great way to begin your day, to get everything stretched and flowing in your body. Moving forward and backwards with breath. Inhaling, stretching the front. Exhale, stretching your spine, your upper body. One more. Bringing yourself back to center. Let's come onto our forearms. So bring your hands forward, bring your forearms down, bring your pelvis onto the ground, flatten your toes, adding a little rotation, warming up the upper body and the spine. Make sure your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. You inhale to look up and back towards your heel. You come back to center. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, back to center. Feel the stretch in your body. Stretching your spine, stretching your core, stretching your hip flexor muscles. One of them, the psoas. And see if you could feel that deep stretch that's taking place right next to your hip bones, the pelvic hip bones, the high ones, not the hip joint itself, the pelvic bones. And then see if you could feel something alongside your spine. And then bring yourself back to center. Let's come down onto the ground. Fold your hands, elbows are out to the side. Bending your knees, let your feet flop side to side. So warming up the body so that when we start to do the work, we'll feel safe in our body, safe in the joints. And bring your legs to a static position. Take your hands alongside your body. Palms are on the ground. The big toes touch. Push your feet into the floor. Activate your knees. And when you push your feet strongly, you'll be able to soften your pelvis and push your pubic bone towards the ground, tailbone down towards your feet, and take the deep curve out of the low back. Forehead touches the ground. Exhale. As you inhale, feel like you're pushing a marble away with your nose. Peel your body away from the floor as you bend your spine, activate your back muscles. Exhale to come down. Inhale to come up. And exhale down. Inhale. Exhale. One more, warming up your spinal muscles.
And then bring yourself down. We're going to come into the locust posture, which is a back bend. So bring your hands down alongside your body. Big toes touch, soles of the feet are up towards the sky. Reach along with your hands. Slide the shoulder blades back towards each other on the back of your body. Let your forehead touch. Exhale. As you inhale, lifting your limbs away from the floor. Reach long with your feet. Roll your legs in the sockets so that the soles of the feet are up towards the sky. Reach long with your hands. Reach your hands up and back. If you do have the ability to clasp your hands and reach long with the hands not touching your body, staying away from your body with the arms straight, you could try that. Or keep your arms straight. Your practice, you decide. Reach long from the crown of your head, through the toes, through the fingers. And you're reaching up, bending your spine. Try to bend the upper spine more, sliding the shoulder blades to push the heart forward. Press the back of the spine into itself and strengthen the back muscles, posture, alignment, spinal health. Take one more breath. And then slowly bring yourself down. Fold your hands again. Put the forehead on the hands. Take your legs really wide as your mat. Bend your knees and relax the low back, letting the legs flop side to side. And then let your legs go straight. Take your arm overhead, come onto your side. Take your hand into the ground and bring yourself all the way up. So let's move on to a plank posture to strengthen the front of your body. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, modify in whatever way you need. If you want to come down onto the forearms, you can do forearm plank. Take one foot back, let's stretch the feet, bending all the toes, push through the heel, feel the calf stretch, and then switch. Really spreading your fingers. You want to make sure your weight is going back as you feel the heel. Oftentimes when we do the plank, we hang out too much in the arms and the wrists, and we want to distribute the weight between the front body and the back body. So bring yourself now into the plank, whatever variation that is that you're going to do. Make sure your toes are bending, move your hands, move your body in whatever way you need. Push away from the floor. Slide the shoulder blades towards each other. Slight lift in the tushy versus the opposite where it hangs down. And then tilting your pelvis, tucking your pelvis. So bringing the pubic bone up towards the lower ribs back, so you're really deeply activated and engaged in the core muscles. Push your feet into the floor. Feel like you're dragging your feet towards your hands. And then push your hands in and push your hands back towards your feet. So feel that activation. Your head is active. You're holding your head up here as well. Really push away from the floor as hard as you can. Using those pushing muscles, keeping your joints strong. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself down. Resting in whatever rest position you'd like. Closing your eyes. Focusing on your breath. Slowing your heart rate down with breath. And then go ahead and open your eyes. In yoga, we go back and forth between effort and ease. Give as much effort as you can and then take the break to recalibrate. It's also great to get our heart rate accelerated. It helps things pump through the system, and keeping that internal heat in the body is actually great for gut health, helps to regulate the bacteria and the yeast in the body when we are in a warmer place in our body. So giving it your all, generating that heat inside the body, and then giving yourself that opportunity to rest. The words in the practice of yoga are called stira and sukha, moving back and forth between effort and ease. So we're going to come down onto the ground, doing a couple of postures on the ground. Take your blanket to the top, have your props handy. And then bring yourself onto your buttocks. So one of the postures that we do in yoga therapy for osteoporosis is called reverse plank, or it's really reverse tabletop, which is this posture. And this could be a lot of stimulation, a lot of stretching for the shoulders. So another option, but I'm going to choose the other option today, would be this, which is really a reverse plank. So this here held for 30 seconds. So you choose either the bent leg variation in the tabletop or the straight leg variation in the plank, bringing your fingers towards your buttocks, or if you need to turn them out to the side, do that. Slide your shoulder blades towards each other, lift your heart, exhale, and then inhale to bring yourself up into whatever variation you're choosing. You could have your toes pointed or your feet flexed. What you want to make sure is that you do not collapse your pelvis. So push into the floor, lift your pelvis up towards the sky, heart is up towards the sky. Very actively push away with the fingertips, with the hands, and with the heels. You could activate your glutes here, contracting your glutes. Take one more breath, and then bring yourself down. Usually those stronger postures like that, harder to hold for longer than 30 seconds. And then come into a position to close your eyes, to catch your breath, to rest after that posture. Deep breaths down to your pelvis, slow down your breath, catch your breath. And then go ahead and open your eyes. Bringing ourselves down off the ground. If you're going to come down like this, make sure you maintain length in your waist the whole time. You could use your arms to help you. If that's a challenge, you could go to the side and bring yourself down. So doing whatever's appropriate for you today. Draw the knees into the chest, flattening the low back. And then let's continue with that pushing away from the floor that we've been doing, or pulling away, all that spinal work and total body muscle work that we've done so far with the postures. We're going to go into a bridge. So take your strap and find a loop in your strap, or tie your strap. Bringing the feet through the strap up to the upper thighs, about a fist's distance between your legs. And then preparing your body by sliding the shoulder blades back towards each other, moving the blanket away from the back of your head, and sliding the shoulder blades, lift the head, lengthen the neck. Arms can stay bent alongside your body or go flat, depending on your ability. Walk your feet back towards your legs. Let's do a few here to warm up the spine. You're going to tilt your pelvis back, push your feet into the floor, push out on the strap, squeeze your buttocks, lift your pelvis up, feel the spine moving away from the ground, and then bring yourself back down. Let's do that with breath. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, push your feet down, push away from the floor, and inhale to lower. One more time. Bring yourself up. Push out on the strap so you activate the side hips. Contract your glutes to push your tushy up, unbending the hip joint.
Shoulder blades are sliding towards each other. Arms are bent or straight. And then bend the upper spine as much as you can. If clasping is available for you with straight arms, you could clasp. Push your feet into the floor so that you push your weight towards your upper back. You don't want it to waterfall into your neck. And then pushing out in the strap, push away from the ground strongly. Use your arms to help with the upper body, pushing away and bending your spine. Push away from the floor, push out on the strap, push your heart up towards the sky. Take one more breath. When it's time to come out, go slow so that you put your spine down on the ground, lifting your heels off the floor, pushing out on your strap, tilting your spine back, placing the spine down. Bring the blanket back behind your head. Keep the strap there, draw your knees into your chest. Rocking side to side. And then bring your feet onto the floor. So we're going to do a posture that strengthens the core muscles. This is a hovering twist. So as we move our body to the side, we have to manage holding it there using the core muscles to make this happen. So the heart will be up towards the sky, the rib cage stays on the ground. Bringing your arms to the side can help to lock in the rib cage to the ground. So keep your arms to the side and then bring your knees up, push into your strap, tilt your pelvis back so your low back presses into the ground. Then you're gonna inhale towards the side, only go as far as you can where you feel there's a lot of work to stay there. So go to where you can and then stay there, pushing out in the strap, tilting your pelvis back, contracting your core, activate your pelvic floor, cinch in your waist, push your low ribs towards the ground, keeping that nice activation in the core. If unbending your legs is an appropriate challenge for you, you could try that. Managing the weight of the legs to the side, heart up towards the sky. If your legs are to the right, push the right arm into the ground to help you and contract your core. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself back to center. Take a break, bring your knees into your chest. Rocking side to side. We're going to go to the other side, so draw your knees in. Bring your legs into that hovered position. Low back is pressing towards the ground. There's a slight posterior pelvic tilt to help you here. Pushing out on the strap. So the more the legs go to the side, you have to work your core to stabilize your trunk. Heart is up towards the sky. Whatever side you're going to with your legs, push that arm into the floor, heart up towards the sky. Take one more breath. And then bring your knees back to center. Take the strap off. Take your strap onto the soles of your feet. Coming wider than your body, and then pull the strap down, pull the knees down to your armpits. This is a happy baby. Soles of the feet are up towards the sky and push into the arch part of the strap. Draw the knees down deeply towards your body. Feel the low back pressing into the ground. It's nice and relaxing for the lower back, low spine. We've done a lot of back bending so far, and that core practice is also pretty challenging for the spine. Pull the strap down, take one more breath. And then release. Strap to the side. Come onto your side, and from here, come all the way up. Checking in with how you're doing and taking a closed mouth, deep breath. And then take your blanket in half. We're going to sit on the blanket and do a posture. So we call these postures not poses. We don't get to it and stay there. We put our joints in an aligned position, in a certain postural position that's going to support, strengthen our joints to hold our body, move our body. So take your strap, bring your strap to the side, and then reach under and grab flesh and move the flesh backwards. Take your strap and then lasso your feet. So don't bend or round your spine to get the strap on your feet. And when the strap is on the feet, bring the feet body distance or hip joint distance, which means that the big toes are only about 2 or 3 inches apart. And then hold onto your straps close to your body so that your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Push your heels into the ground, push your legs down, pull your strap so your body is right above your pelvis, not leaning back. And this is called Dandasana or staff posture. Push your legs down, push out on the pinky toe edge of the strap, pull the strap strongly. So create that when you pull the straps, you're working the upper back muscles. So pull the straps back strongly, lift your heart, push your legs down, be active. Don't just hang out here. You're pushing out on the strap with the pinky toe edge. Your heels, your calves, your thighs are pushing towards the ground. You're pulling strongly on the strap so you feel the muscles in the center of your shoulder blade area activating. And then lengthen the back of your neck, sit nice and tall in your spine. Take one more breath. And then slowly finding ease in your body. Bring the soles of the feet together or come into a wide straddle, your choice. And then take your strap. We're going to put your strap off to the side. So we are going to come to standing, and it's good to clear your space so you don't get caught up in anything. So fall prevention is not just about having strong balance. It's also making sure things like your physical space doesn't have anything obstructed in it that could trip you, or loose or slippery like a rug. And then also eyes play a role, so making sure you check your vision. And then head position. Those are all factors of balance in fall prevention. So come onto your blanket. So either flat blanket, or you could have it folded more if you have knee issues. We are going to come up through the downward facing dog. And if that's not for you, you could come up in a different way. Take your hands wide. Pointer finger and thumb can be on the mat. Fingers can be off. You're going to flip your toes under. Push your body back and then lift your tailbone up towards the sky. Keep your head forward and then bring yourself back down. So loading into the upper body, bending the hip. Feel that stretch coming into the back of the legs. And the next one, we're going to up and stay there. Head is forward or looking straight down where the wrists are. And then press your heel down towards the ground one at a time. Stretching your calves. And then both heels at the same time. The bend is in the hip joint, not in the spine. The front of the spine is nice and long.
And then bending your knees, walking your hands back. Make sure your feet are wide. So if they're not the width of the mat, then take them wide as the mat. Bring your hands directly underneath your body. The front of your spine is lengthened and open. You bring your hands on top of your thighs. You could bring your body up. Real deep hip flexion here. Strengthening the legs, strengthening the glutes, lower body for fall prevention. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself slowly up and out. So take your blanket off to the side. And go ahead and get a chair. So we've done quite a bit of back bending. And one of the counter poses or positions in the body for back bending, a counter to that is twisting. And I'd like to do this with a chair and show you how this works with a chair. This is a variation of the straight leg twist that we do on the ground in a seated position. This is it with a chair at the wall. So we're going to rotate over the leg that comes onto the chair. So wherever you are, let's all go to the same side. So have your right hip joint be near the wall if you're doing this with a chair. And I'd like you to try it with the chair. So hopefully you have access to this. You could go get something where you could practice this with us. And if you don't have a chair, you could do it in the air, but you'd have to have real good balance for that. So let's take the feet, the toes are pointing forward. We're gonna move functionally here. So put your body weight onto your left foot. Slowly bend the right knee, slide the shin along the front of the chair so you don't go out around. You really activate the joints and the muscles of the joints to get yourself into this position. Then bring the right foot up onto the chair. Walk the right foot forward so your knee is right above your ankle. And then you are standing in that left leg. So stand nice and tall. Take your hands on your waist. And then bring your hands up in front of you. Exhale. As you inhale, you're going to rotate your heart to face the wall and put your hands on the wall. Now we're going to the right. Push your body weight back so you're in that left leg, creating hip joint stimulation in that left leg, left pelvis. Push the right hand into the wall so you can get as much rotational force as feels safe for you and your body. The weight is on the foot that is on the ground. So lift the right heel off the chair so you're on the right tippy toes. So you make sure your weight bearing in the left leg, then put the foot back down. Most of the weight is in the left foot. Push the right hand into the wall, push down into the ground, lengthen your spine and rotation. It's a variation of the seated straight leg twist. Take one more breath. With length, you're going to come up and out of this twist. Then you're going to push your body weight back, gently bring the foot off. Try to hover in that if you can. So a lot of stimulation, that standing leg, single leg balance in the hip joint. So you create a stronger pelvis on that standing leg side, and then adding that trunk rotation. So this is a nice variation of the twist. So that was the right leg that was against the wall. Now the left leg is against the wall. We're going to be standing on right leg this time. So push your body weight to the right leg and then bringing the left leg up along the front of the chair. Bring the left foot forward. Bring your hands onto your waist. Push your body weight back so you're truly standing in that left hip joint. Pushing that the right hip joint. Pushing that right hip joint into the socket. Really creating a lot of force there. And then you bring your hands up in front of you, push away, push your body weight back onto the right foot, exhale, and then inhale, keeping your hands lifted so you stay safe in your rotation. Bring your hands onto the wall, push down on the ground to get tall, really push the left hand this time to get that rotation, letting that left shoulder blade keep your spine safe.
Lower the shoulders, slide the shoulder blades towards each other, lift your heart in this twist. Make sure your right foot is not collapsing. Lift the left heel off the chair to make sure that most of your weight is truly in that right leg that you're standing on. Then put it down. Push into the left hand, take one more breath. And then you're gonna slowly bring yourself forward, out, all the way out, and then rest. So let's come into the mountain. It's a nice place to do mountain. And mountain is also a great place to rest or to find that stability in your body, that rest. Take your hands down. So mountain, lift your toes up, spread your toes, place the toes down. The top of your foot is closer together than the heel, so you may need to move the heels apart a little here. Then push the toes into the floor. Push the pinky toe edges, so feel like you're gently ripping the floor apart, and then push your heels, the front, the back, the middle, the sides of the heels. Make sure that you have connection. You're grabbing the floor with your feet. Reach down with your hands, push back with your hands. And then push down to get tall, chin parallel towards the ground. Tailbone is pointing downward towards the ground. This is called mountain. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself out. So coming into a posture that uses balance, loads in the hip joint in a different location. Having a wall or a chair will make it a little bit easier. We'll do this because this is one of the more challenging balance postures. So we'll do this and then move into other standing postures. We're going to do dancer's posture. So left leg this time, standing on your left leg. So arrange yourself so that you have a chair in front of you. And then you bend the right knee. So bend the right knee so that the right heel comes closer to your tushy. And reach back. See if you could touch the foot. And then keep bending the foot. Try to grab the foot. Or if you can't grab the foot, grab the pants or the socks. And then you begin by pushing into your foot to tilt your body forward. And then you could keep your hand on the chair, or you could bring your hand in front of you. And if you're at a wall, you could use the wall as well, so that you are loading in a forward flexion position into that standing leg. Push strongly with the right foot into the hand to stimulate spinal bone work, spinal muscle work. Lengthening your spine, pushing your heart forward. Take one more breath. And then bringing yourself out nicely and coming all the way out. Let's go to the other side. Now we're going to stand on the left foot. So you bring your body weight to your left foot, bending, to the right foot. Right? Yeah, because we were on. So the right foot now. Yes, because we were there, we did left foot. Yes, okay. Right foot now. So you're going to stand on your right foot. Start to bend your left leg. So bringing your left heel closer to your tushy. And then reach back, see if you could touch the heel. See if you could bend the leg a little higher to get a hold of the top of the foot or the pants or the leg of your pants, the socks, whatever it is that you can do. Hand on the chair. And then you're going to push into the left hand with the left foot to tip forward. And then if you want to bring your hand off, or if you're at a wall,
so that you can work a little bit more maybe on the back bend aspect of this posture and on the loading into the hip joint aspect of the posture. This is one of those postures where balance can really get involved. So when you use a little support here, you may be able to go deeper into some of the strengthening joint work that takes place in this posture. Long spine, bent spine. Push into the hand with the foot, reach long with the front hand, take one more breath. You casually bring yourself out, bring yourself down, coming back to mountain to rest, to realign. And then shake your limbs. Let's do a little bit of stretching work here. So take the chair, let's take the chair, to this side is fine. So I'm trying to move back and forth between sides here. So we were weight bearing on that right leg, stretching the front of the left leg. So now we're going to be stretching the back of the right leg, still weight bearing into that hip, so getting a little bit extra stimulation there for that hip. So coming from the mountain posture into the wide stance. The wider the better. Be near a wall, it'll help you go a little wider. The wider you go here, the more flexibility and range of motion you bring into your hip joint. Take your right leg straight, right toes point away from you, and then lift the right or the left heel away from you. Shoulders are forward, up, back, and down. Take your right hand on your thigh, left hand up, and then you're going to inhale to slide the right hand down the leg. Now, some of you may feel better pushing onto the top of the chair, not grabbing it, but pushing. Or you may feel better pushing with your fingertips into the chair and then pushing your hip away, really bending hip deep in your hip. So I would like you to stay around this area depending on what aspects of the practice you practice, even those of you that are pretty flexible. Can you stay here to rip the floor apart and lengthen your spine? Do a little bit more lengthening and then rotation up towards the sky. So the head can look up if that feels okay for your neck, or you can keep your head straight ahead or look down. So pick the head position that feels better for your neck. Triangle pose. Ripping the floor apart. So we're going to add a little extra core work here if it's okay for you. So maintain the integrity of the lower parts of this posture, keeping your low body, all that strength there. And then bring your awareness to your core, contract your core. Lift your right hand off the chair if you can. Imagine you're holding a big beach ball in this position, a lot of core work. Lift your heart, lengthen your spine. Exhale, and then inhale to bring yourself back up. Bringing yourself out. Bring yourself to mountain. And let's go to the other side. So we're creating angles in our body. We're bending joints, pulling on ligaments, pulling on tendons, weight bearing in muscles, so many aspects, and then blood vessels and nerves are getting stimulated. So a lot of stimulation for your body here for healthy aging, healthy bones. Take yourself into a mountain. From here, the wide straddle. Come as wide as you can. Push the left heel into the floor, lift the left toes, and swivel the left foot under the chair. Right heel moves away from you. Do a little movement in your pelvis here. Feel your pelvis moving. Activate your hands, your feet on the ground. Take your left hand on your left thigh, right hand up. Exhale. And as you inhale, slide your hand down your leg. Push your pelvis away. You want to keep a nice long spine and bring that bend into the hip joint. Then either coming to the top of the chair, pushing the hand into the chair, or onto the back of the chair.
And then the rotation. So rip the floor apart, bending at that hip joint, and then rotate your trunk up towards the sky. So a lot of pulling here in the pelvis, a lot of pressure in that left front leg, pressure in the right back leg, stimulating the pelvic bones, and then stimulating the spine with the rotation. Head up if that feels okay for your neck, or forward or down. Long spine. Rip the floor apart. So really active feet. We're going to come into that core work. So bring your awareness to your core, contract your core, lift your left hand off like you're holding a big beach ball. Exhale, and then inhale to bring yourself up, out to mountain. So let's do the goddess posture with the chair. And the chair can go in front of you. So the chair is in front of you. You take your legs wide, really, really wide. So wide and be relatively close to the chair so you could push down on the chair. So bring yourself into the widest stance you can, and then turn the toes out to the side. Then from here with a long spine, contract your glutes so that you put your pelvis in a neutral position. Tailbone is going down towards the ground. Push your knees out to the side. Inhale. And as you exhale, slowly lower down into your hips evenly, pushing the knees out. Tailbone is going straight down. Come as low as you can that feels comfortable for your body. We're going to hold this. So this is goddess. Knees are moving out. Hands are on the chair to push down to keep your spine long, or bring your hands into goddess. Pushing your knees back. Don't let them cave in. Go down a little lower if you can. Lift your toes off. Be in your heels. Lift your heart. Make sure you're not tilting forward with your pelvis or your torso. Take one more breath. And then you're going to bring yourself up and out into mountain to rest. Close your mouth, breathe all the way down to your feet. And bring your chair onto your mat. Grab your strap and your block. And then have a seat in your chair. And when you're sitting on your chair, come to the very front part of your chair. Take the block in between your knees and take your strap in your hands. Now, I like to practice this also where I put the strap around my legs, but you have to make sure that that's safe for you. If you have issues with balance, maybe that's not the best option for you. But for those of you that don't have any issues with balance, using the strap on your legs and then the block in your hands can be a good option as well. So you want to walk your feet closer to your body. Walk your feet so that they're block distance. Block is between your knees. Bring your arms forward and push out on the strap with your hands. Bring yourself forward and up and bring yourself downward. Come into chair posture. Pushing out, bringing yourself up. And then one more, come up and stay up. Push your knees back, look down at your feet so you see the whole top part of your foot. And then bring your arms up, push out on the strap. Look through the strap.
pushing your body weight back. You could lift your toes off the floor or let just the big toe stay on the floor. Squeeze your tushy. Make sure your low back is safe. Go a little lower if that feels okay for you to load into your hip joints. Deep breaths, mouth is closed. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and bring yourself up. Take the strap off, clearing your space. Back to your mountain. Take your hands, shake your hands. So today's practice, some of the stronger work, we held longer than 30 seconds. Let's do a release here to get rid of stress, any negative thoughts that came up for you, especially if they were, I'm not strong, I don't have good balance, or oh wow, I'm losing this or I'm losing that, whatever it is. We're going to do a whoosh, W-H-O-O-S-H, the shh, shh, shh. Really accentuate the shh, because the placement of the tongue in the mouth, actually, there's fascia connecting to the pelvic floor. So this is a way to release tension in the pelvic floor area. So we're going to do 3 rounds of this with the longest exhale that you can. So grab from the air things that no longer serve you, thoughts that you may have. Grab, grab, grab. Hold tight. Again, grabbing. Hold tight. One more grab. Hold. And then bring yourself down. So we're going to come down and do our Shavasana. You could do your legs up the chair. You could come into regular Shavasana. Doing legs up the wall is also a nice option. Then getting your blanket. So whatever you're going to be doing, you might use a blanket. You might be just at the wall. Do whatever you need to do for your practice. Getting your space ready. And then make sure that when you come down loading into your joints, using what you need to help you on your way down. Coming all the way down onto the ground for Shavasana. Draw your knees into your chest. Keep your knees wide and rock side to side. Time to let the practice sink into your body, your mind. All the new strength, balance, flexibility, all that was done today in the practice, let it find its place. So we'll go back to the 3-part breath of the belly, lower ribs, and the chest. Focus on that during your Shavasana in whatever position you're in Shavasana. Closing your mouth, focusing on your breath.
Gently begin to deepen your breath. Bring your awareness to your body, to your hands and your feet as you start to move them, your legs, your arms, walking your feet closer to your body, bending the knees, drawing the knees in, rocking side to side. Noticing today's practice in your body. Was it appropriate? Bring yourself onto your side and from here all the way up to seated.
We'll close the practice with sound, a gentle humming sound to settle what needs settled. Bringing the hands to the heart, elbows lifted, pressing the hands to the heart, long spine. Gentle humming sound. Take an exhale to create space. Inhale all the way down to your tailbone. Bringing your hands up to your forehead, bowing forward in gratitude. Namaste. So today's practice had some strong practices, strong postures in it, and hopefully whatever you did it appropriately for you. All right, so some new postures today, some original and some new ones. So I'd like to hear from those of you that are here, if you'd like to share anything. Hi, Patty. Hi, Nancy. Oh, wow. Have you been in here before, Nancy? Not sure. And I'm glad that you were here. You're welcome. Yeah, well, we did do some twists today, right? We did the twist on the ground with the strap and then the twist with the chair. So yeah, there were some variations today because I think we've got to keep it lively. So subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed already, please. Thumbs up if you like what you are seeing. And joining me live is great. I love having you there. And there's a lot of people that watch this recorded. So that option is available. Hundreds of recorded videos. Good. Yeah, it was a challenge for me too. All right. Yeah, I needed that today, Nicole. I did. I needed to like keep my mind grounded today. So I thought of different things. And the twist at the wall, I've not done that in my home practices, maybe ever or very often, but I love to do that in class when I'm in a class where we have access to the wall. Okay, great. Good. All right. That's good, Nancy. Thanks. Yeah, I like that chair twisting. Yeah. Yeah. And I felt different things in my body today with that, which is really interesting. And I don't know if any of you used your chair a little bit more today than usual to push away from. I did. And so I was able to feel something different. I mean, we have 800 muscles in the body, so we're going to be doing something different if we approach it differently. What's that saying? What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Well, we are doing things different and different. So triangle today might be different than triangle tomorrow, which is going to make more difference inside of our body. So if we feel weak or fragile or any of that, spice it up, change it up a little bit. And if you feel like you're getting weaker balance, weaker muscles, maybe you do different variations and you start strengthening different components of your muscles and your balance. Yeah, Nancy, the thing about cramping, usually the 3 factors are mineral imbalance, especially magnesium. Magnesium is important for muscular contraction or relaxation, and hydration. And then the other one is flexibility. So any of those factors, working on all of those. Yeah. All right, Patty. Well, it looks like we all like the twists. So twisting is great for the spine. And I'm going to get my REMS test in the UK in just over a month. So I'm like, let me stimulate my bones as much as possible to get the best reading possible. All right. Anyway, thanks for joining me. And I will see you when I see you. This is recorded, by the way. So if you like the practice, you could do it again. All right. Have a great day, ladies.